Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MS here, back in another video. Um, I'm a bit shy of making this video. I was wondering whether I should or not, but I thought I'd go for it anyway. As I thought of the idea for a day or two, to be honest. So I've had the idea for a while, but I know I covered it a while back. But I thought I'd do it in one of my usual list form videos. But I know I have this. I have this hoarding problem, and I know it's a bit embarrassing, and I know it's crazy. Like I'd have papers everywhere and stuff like that, but one of the things that made me feel better is this idea. So I thought I'd go through some of the plans for this idea, and the easiest way for me to do so would be in list form. So I hope I do at least a half decent job or as good as possible. And as ever, I'd love to read what people think out there. I don't know if I should share my madness too much. As I've said to someone recently, I broadcast myself potentially to the world or whatever, and yet if someone watched my video with me, I would be really, any of my videos, I'd probably be really read, or I'd have to go to a different room and hope to get their feedback. So even though I'm quite shy, I just when I have these ideas, I think I'll take a risk and discuss them. But anyway, so here goes. So number one, 2 or 1 or share for share is an idea of mine, a vision of mine, basically, and that sort of thing. To basically, it could be for my YouTube channel, but also for my works, my writings, my paperwork and stuff like that. Basically what it is that any spiritual or religious group or even business or charity or any other organization that wants me to share their literature and share their works or whatever, literature/works. For instance, it could be a Bible, it could be a Quran, it could be any religious materials. Basically, I wish to share, if say, for instance, a church helps me to write a piece of work, a notebook, or to work on a project which I can be proud of, I dream to return the favor. And basically, like, if they want me to put my piece of work that I write, or my notebook, or whatever writing, in my own unique style, where I use a space in certain ways and all that, and mainly online paper, that is, I could put it inside a Bible, or if the mosques help me, I could do the same for a Quran or any other religious group. Number 2, I started off wanting to do that just for Christianity and like for the Bible, and but I thought I'd try and do it as unbiasedly as possible, so to give all religions or all groups a fair shot, and even businesses or whatnot, if they want me to promote their literature. Similar with YouTube, like if people subscribe to me, I could return the favor. But with my writings, whoever helps me to write a notebook and like give it to people in developing countries, for each notebook I write, I hope to share again in return, as the title suggests. Number 3, I love to read your questions or anything like that, or if you make response videos, as I often say, if you do want to make response videos, you're welcome to do so. I hope well, as long as you don't dox me or do anything illegal or threaten me or anything like that. You basically do it legally and whatnot. I don't encourage any law breaking, but yeah, you're welcome to make response videos, or alternatively just post in the comment section, or both if you prefer. But as I say, I thought this would be the fairest way, and I thought I'd be fair to each religion. I've got a specific idea I want to cover for point number 40, so please listen out for that in part 4. As I'm 40, I work up to 40 points. Sorry. Yeah. So I thought I think it would be a bit unfair. I'd feel a bit cheated or unfair, and I feel that I would be having an unfair deal if I shared something like a religious scripture or someone's material or something like that, if they didn't return the favor, or if they didn't do that for me first. So it's kind of like, if God helps me, sort of thing, to thank God, or if a business or organization helps me and they want me to share their materials in return, again, I think it's the fairest deal, like hence 1 to 1 or share for share. Number 4, I hope my works, as I call them, or my work or whatever, I hope they'll have as much fun and enjoy it as much as possible, but also not take it too seriously, as I often do. But I do struggle because I want things to be done in a certain way, but I also hope it will promote peace, love, positivity, and that kind of thing generally. Sometimes I do write negative stuff or negative feelings and things like that, but in this case, but generally speaking, I hope to write positive things. Number 5, of course, my goal for this is to try and promote my works as much as possible, including works I write up in my own unique style. I'd even love to have like my own creative spaces where I get to use those spaces to I'd love for my local council or others to like give spaces, probably being a bit cheeky of me, but I'd love for them to do so for free. to promote my writing as a special sort of art form, or my own unique dyslexic and mental health creativity and dyspraxic creativity and that kind of thing. So it's like graffiti artists here in the UK, and I'm probably and I'm sorry, and possibly elsewhere as well, I'm sure, get their own spaces, certainly here in the UK, where they can do graffiti legally. So whereas other places it's not legal to do. So hopefully I'll keep out of other people's way and only go where I have permission to go, because in the past I kept my notebooks all over the place, and I probably still would, but I should respect other people's space, I know that. But yeah, I hope to have these spaces, like I say, creative spaces, where I have permission, so it's not so it's out of other people's way. Although my work is a bit secretive, so that's a bit of a dilemma, because I used to go to the shop every other day and hoard like notebooks, and obviously my mum's going to find out eventually, and that's where a lot of problems started. But where we had arguments and shouting matches basically, and things like that. And she got rid of my stuff and gave some of it to charity, and some of it she burned, and some of it she threw away and stuff like that. And because I'm quite attached to it with my hoarding, as mad as I know it is, and because it sort of made me feel like that sort of triggered my mental health problems a lot, I think, and my existential crisis, because I thought, like, what's the point of writing things and working on things if they just get destroyed anyway? So I tried to make a deal with the guy upstairs and say, like, if you help me to do that, I'll share religious literature. Number 6, on that note, again, at one point I was thinking, like, to share for each sentence I get to write, I would share a scripture from the Bible. But and at one point I thought also it could be a line for line, so it sort of has a ring to it, I think, where each line I get to write, I could write a line from the Bible and share it on, or share a line from the Bible on online itself. But I thought I'd open that up to all religions, so it's as fair as possible, and that kind of thing. Again, in point number 40, I want to come up with a point on that note. Number 7, yeah, I did. As I say, I did have a bias towards the Bible. I'm using the number 7, sorry, because it's a biblically significant number. But I did want to give all religions a fair shot to prove that, and then hopefully the one truth, if there's one true religion, hopefully that will show itself with God helping me through the churches, say, for instance, or whatnot, or the mosques or whatever, and prove his existence in a good way. Because in the past I've often thought, what if God proves his existence in a good way instead of all these natural disasters or things like that. Number 8, on that note, again, I hope God will prove himself in a good way by helping my writings and things like that. But I also hope to stay out of other people's way and make sure my writing is positive and uplifting for the world and beneficial to the world as well, not like in other people's way. As much as a strange part of my brain like imagines having writing everywhere, like on the floor and in all possible, like as wide and as far as the world. I know I'm nuts, but hopefully they won't section me or put me in a mental asylum or anything like that. But I suppose I'm harmless, man. So yeah, so hopefully if it's a pre-agreed place, hopefully that will at least solve that problem of wanting to have notebooks everywhere. Like, it will be pre-agreed, so we've had that agreement, and also it won't be in other people. Well, because of that, it won't be in other people's way. And also, what's my train of thought? Sorry. Also, as I say, it'd be a positive thing, and I hope to enjoy my writing and be positive about my writing, and like maybe even believe in my writing again. After a lot of it got rid of, and I didn't get a chance to read through it or go through it in my own way or organize it and give it to the charities I chose to give it to, or things like that. I thought I wouldn't really remember what was on those notes, and it felt like they were being wasted. And I suppose that's my hoarding problem, is like not wanting things to be wasted. Number 9, on that note, again, I hope to look at the best possible ways, like looking at things in the world and what are the best possible ways to use them, whether that's paper or anything else, any other materials, like what are the best ways they could be used if they could stop from being wasted. Maybe looking at what's the best environmental impact as well. Maybe even in the future I could work with scientists and others to discuss like what are the best uses of things, I say, and like plastics, papers, and all sorts of things like that, so they don't get wasted. And I suppose I see things opposite to other people in a way, like where they see a floor where you can work on or walk around where there's no sort of paper in the way or things like that. I see that as sort of wasted space, whereas other people probably see that as a kind of open space, which is more like, especially if they're minimalists or whatnot. And number 10, I hope this doesn't make me sound too crazy, these videos, but I'm just being as honest as possible, as I often say. And I hope some people out there enjoy these videos and like and share them. Another thing, like in the past, actually, I just remember this point. In the past, I'll wrap it up with this. In the past, I prayed that whoever tried to touch my paperwork without my permission would fall and injure themselves just enough to put them off doing so. And even like if people call me, I say Michael at the top of their voice, say Michael being my name, hence MKS. for Michael Kovic, and I don't know if I should reveal the full name, but yeah. Yeah, I said like if people call me too many times, like they call me 4 times, the fourth time they wouldn't be able to call me because they would lose their voice, so they wouldn't be able to distract me, and also people would fall and injure themselves just enough to put them off removing any of my paper or anything like that or anything of mine. But yeah, that was my prayer. And when God didn't fulfill that pledge, I sort of felt let down, especially when I was sharing biblical stuff. But yeah, I hope to give all religions a fair shot. And again, as Tark suggests, and hopefully that will make me feel more relaxed. Like in the like a lot of time, I feel like I really want to write on something in a certain way at a certain time and get it done in a certain way and keep it in a certain way and things like that. Whereas if I think like this way sort of makes me feel better for some reason. Like I'll feel obviously organizations and businesses, spiritual, religious, for-profit businesses, charities, or whatever will have an incentive to try and help my writing, hopefully. And again, if I'm in creative spaces, I think those things will hopefully make me feel a lot better. And I'll try and be as positive as possible. And I am out. Peace out.